So just to give you a brief background ko kung tungkol sa inyo yung episode, there was this priest na Agrippa priest na nakascam siya ng yes sir, okay po. Nakascam, yes sir, thank you so much po. Nakascam siya ng halos daang-daang milyong piso from hundreds of individuals. Ang pinapangako niya is profit sharing, kung saan nagbebenta siya daw di umano mga luxury items. Tapos, di ba syempre, halimbawa yung isang luxury item, isang luxury bag, nagkakalaga siya ng mga kalahating milyon. So, yung investors niya, nagbibigay sa kanya ng money, tapos di umano, yun ang gagamitin pambili nung item, pagkabenta, may profit sila na 8%. Now, at one point, yung isa po naming case study, yung na-interview namin nung last Thursday, umabot sa up to 25% yung pinapangako nung pare na scammer na profit. So, in other words, napansin ko po, yun kasi, yung Magallanes, Cavite is a remote area, pero ang mga nang-scam doon, yung mga nang-scam doon is milyon-milyon yung nakukuha. So, pati rin yung sa ibang lugar, milyon-milyon yung nakukuha. Tapos mostly ang victims ay mostly nasa far-flung areas, gano'n. So, ayun sir, question number 1 ko po is, kailan po malalaman ng isang ordinaryong tao na posibleng scam ang isang investment opportunity?
Okay, good question yan. Well, let's talk about the red flags. Number 1, low risk and then high reward. So let's say for example, Pao, I gave you at least 100 pesos and then within a month, I can get at least 1,000 pesos. Somehow, that sounds too good to be true because the banks are not giving that one. Pero, you need to double check first yung anatomy ng scam. Which is number 1, di ba, low risk, high reward. Ang tanong natin dito, paano kikita yung business? Kasi lahat ng investment, nakafocus directly within the investment. So, magkano puhunan, magkano kita, paano ako malulugi? Usual na mga ginagawa ng ating mga kababayan is, tinatanong yung dalawa, magkano puhunan, magkano kita. Pero never nila tinatanong yung ikatlo, paano ako malulugi dito? Pangatlo, okay, dun sa mismong anatomy ng scam is, paano kikita? Diba? Yung aglipayan. Okay, tama ba? Aglipay. Okay. So, yung pari mismo, yung mismong naggagaranti, tama ba?
Yes po.
Okay. So, sa papaanong paraan kikita ang isang parish church in terms of the mismong transaction na ito? Siyempre, on my end, okay, medyo conflict of interest to Dahil kung ang isang parish church or di kaya isang kaparian is nagagarantiya ng ganitong level ng kita, paano kumikita yung business ng luxury bags? Binibenta niya ba to outside? Kung binibenta niyo to outside, we need to double check. How many percent is yung mismong kanyang kinikita dito? 25% yung mismong promise, di ba?
Yung una sir, 8%.
8%.
So bali yung namin, yung case study namin, ang invest niya is almost 3 million pero nakakakuha siya ng 36,000 per month. Ngayon, pag dahil dun sa promise ng magandang profit, hindi nila kinukuha yung monthly na tubo. Hindi mo pagdagdula dun sa investment.
I-reinvest lang rin at the end of the day. Okay. Here's another question dito. Okay. You need to double check kung they are legitimate to solicit investment sa mga tao. Kasi usually, naka-register to directly sa DTI, sa may SEC, pero hindi na itatanong ng ating mga kababayan kung meron bang lisensya ito to solicit investments. Hindi ibig sabihin naka-register ito sa sa SEC is lihitin mo na ito. Remember, marami tayong mga kakilalang artista na-scam din because of all these things. That's why we need to double check these things through research. Now, let's talk about the profile ng mga na-scam. Hindi porket nasa Magallanes, Cavite, alright, wala ng mga kaperahan. Meron tayong mga areas kung saan tinatawag na mga old money rich. Kumbaga, minamanang mga inheritance. Kaya, they can afford to invest these types of things. And dahil tiwala nga sila kay father na kikita ito ng maganda, syempre, bakit hindi naman natin itry? Pero nga, again, hindi ibig sabihin yung 3 million na ito na ibigay, ikikita na siya kaagad. Kasi baka mamaya, yung 3 million, na, yung 36,000 na ibinibigay, is actually coming directly from the new people, di ba, na nag-i-invest din. And it's yung so-called pyramiding scam nga, kumbaga. So ngayon, kung masyadong mataas, 8% per month ba ito? Or per kung 8% per month, imagine this one, ang mismong mga digital banks are giving at least 4% to 6% annual. Imaginein mo yung 8% per month. That's really high at the end of the day. If you're gonna be talking about 8% annually, it can be possible. Especially when it comes to the stocks, when it comes to mutual funds, when it comes to the MT2, or any other legitimate investments. Pero yung 8% through this business, with a guarantee, that's already ang tawag nito, fishy para sa atin. Okay, as an investment advisor, because I do have a license, you need to also double check, si father ba may lisensya na certified investment solicitor? Kasi kung wala, another delikado yan. Ibig sabihin, meron kang, ang tawag nito, kumbaga, let's say for example, nagda-drive siya ng walang investments. That's very a clear issue already in terms of legalities and also morality.
Okay. Sir, tapos next question ko, kasi parang I read somewhere na parang ang pinaka possible na parang highest na percentage ng pwedeng income sa isang investment. Hindi ko lang po sure kung saan ko nabasa. Parang yung 10% monthly is already masyado nang mataas.
Okay.
Am I right, sir?
Depende yun sa different asset class. So, I'll give you a scenario. All right. So, let's say for example, if a really good stocks, all right, you invested in an individual stock, so you can actually earn in a good run, probably mga around 2 to 10% if it's a really good stocks, like mga blue chip stocks and all. Mga mutual fund natin, we do have a really good index fund na lihiti mo, that means mga around 2 to 8% in a really good month. Now, meron din tayong, let's say for example, na tinatawag na meron din tayong mga tinatawag na mga really good co-ops, di ba? Meron din tayong mga co-ops na ganyan, mga around 2%. They can provide that one in a conservative level. Pero merong mga asset class na, let's say for example, forex, there are certain crypto na lihitin mo rin naman at the end of the day na they can provide more than that. Yung mismong ating mga business na solid, remember, any investments are businesses. If the business are actually solid na maganda yung balance sheet, maganda yung cash flow, kumikita ng maganda, they can earn probably higher than 2%. Pero there's no guarantee. Kasi, Pao, honestly, if somebody will give you a guarantee, you need to double check first kung saan nanggagaling yung confidence ng ganitong investment advisor na ito. Kasi remember, in my world as a finance guy, we always mention this disclaimer that the past return doesn't guarantee future return. Kasi it can go in waves or in tides, kumbaga. We call this volatile market. So ngayon, kung ang mismong taong to all the time nag-guarantee, sir, hindi ka malulugi dito. Sir, solid tayo and all. Hanggang mouth lang at walang binibigay na computation. That will also raise some red flags. Wow.
Okay. So, sir, last question ko na lang po now. Sir, pwede po ba kayong magbigay ng mga basic tips kung paano malalaman ng isang ordinaryong mamamayan na red flag ang isang investment and ano yung pwede nilang gawin to prevent from being victimized by that?
Okay. So, kapag nagbibigay na ng mga around at least 8% to 10%, guaranteed. Yan, clear issue na yan. Second, walang lisensya yung mismong nagsusolicit ng funds. Okay? Kasi they need to register themselves. Number 3, walang lisensya yung mismong ang tawag nito, mismong organization. Ibig sabihin, I need to be affiliated with an organization na may lisensya to solicit investments. Kapag wala rin silang ganun, then it's also a red flag. Number 4, medyo hindi align sa mismong business yung taong ito. Let me give you an idea. So let's say for example, my mom and my dad, may narinig sila na magandang investment daw, 18% per month. So sabi ko, okay, is these two people capable of giving me a financial advice? Kung hindi, then X na muna, I need to do some research. Now, lastly, kapag sobrang hype na hype yung mga taong ito na, mag-invest ka na dito, Dave, last ride na ito. That's another part of the anatomy of scam. Last ride na to, Pao. Last ride na to. Ikaw na, meron na lang tayong 5 slot dito. That's also a clear red flag for me dahil, una sa lahat, they want you to feel emotional na, last na to. So, kung meron kang 1 million dito at last na to, hindi mo na makukuha tong ganitong return. That's also a very clear indication na hinahype ka lang nito until such point na kailangan mong sumali and then all of a sudden mawawala sila. Alright? And lastly, yung binibigay lang sa mga bank accounts nila, yung mismong pera. Kasi we call that commingling of funds. We don't do that in the finance. Kasi malay mo, ako, syempre gutom na gutom ako as a person who's asking for the investment, baka mamaya itakbo ko na lang yan. Di ba? So, instead na i-send directly sa organization, hindi, i-send mo na lang sa mismong tao katulad ko. And ano yung pwedeng gawin ng ating mga kababayan to prevent getting scammed? Number 1, always deal with a relevant, always deal with a certified investment solicitor. Ibig sabihin, may lisensya. Number 2, make some research. Kunwari, may offer sa'yo, then you can actually ask for, give me at least 1 week to make a relevant research. Yung research, huwag ka lang madaan sa sabi-sabi. Dahil yung research na to, dapat at least meron kang criteria for judging. So, itong company ba na to, stable to. Pangalawa, kapag bumagsak tong company na to, makukuha ko pa ba yung pera ko? Kapag hindi, sino yung pwede kong takbuhan? Number 4, ito bang kumpanya na to, gaano ka lihiti mo ito? So, syempre, you need to double check. Huwag ka lang what you call this one? Huwag ka lang magfo-focus directly dun sa return of investments na tinatawag. Mag-focus ka dun sa risk management. Kasi the best way daw para ka kumita ng pera in any investment is through 2 things. Offensive strategy and defensive strategy. Yung defensive strategy, pagre-research yan. Yung offensive strategy, paglalagay yan ng kapital. Ang ginagawa lang ng karamihan sa ating mga kababayan is naglalagay ka lang ng kapital. Tapos, you're already thinking nakikita ito at kikita ito. Hindi. Hindi ito kikita kung hindi mo inaral kung paano mangyayari yung investment. Sir, napaka-busy ko na rin kasi. So, wala na akong time para magbasa. Pero ang ending natin dyan, Pao, is, are you willing to lose all that hard-earned money dahil hindi ka nagbasa? Yung mga fine prints, basahin mo. Kung hindi ka marunong magbasa ng mga fine prints, then makipag-team up ka with 3 people. Number 1, makipag-team up ka sa isang financial advisor. Okay? Financial planner or financial advisor. Number 2, kung sobrang hindi ma-explain pa, kasi kailangan ng mga legalities or legal terms, then you team up with an attorney. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang yung nakapasa sa bar ha, kailangan merong at least experience. Ako, I'm willing to pay at least 500 pesos or 2,000 pesos for a consultation before ako magbigay ng 1 million pesos. Di ba? Kasi sayang. Dahil nabigyan ako ng insights, at least nakatipid ako. Di ba? For example, may mga tao tayong mga kakilala, dahil sa gusto nilang makamura, mapapamura na lang sila dahil hindi sila nakapag-research at the end of the day. And lastly, di ba, meron tayong financial advisor, financial planner, attorney, and lastly, syempre, dapat may mga kaibigan ka ding accountant, CPA, or di kaya, let's say for example, mga bookkeepers na merong alam in terms of the technicality ng financial. Huwag ka lang makikinig sa lola mo, sa kaibigan mo, or na walang kaalam-alam or alam sa technicalities. Kasi kapag yan ay scam, madadamay ka. That's why, kailangan mo ng people na will surround you, he will help you. Second, time to understand the investment. And lastly, okay, kung wala tong tatlong P na to, huwag kang mag-i-invest dyan. Number 1, purpose. Hindi clear yung purpose mo. Huwag kang mag-i-invest. Number 2, wala kang peace of mind. Naku, kahit kaibigan ko to si Pao, meron ba akong peace of mind na mapapalago niyo yung pera ko? Kapag alanganin, wala. Wag. Number 3, prosperity. Ibig sabihin, madadali ba yung ano ko dito? Yung prosperity journey ko. Baka mamaya, instead na magkumita, malugmok pa ako sa kahirapan at mai-stress pa ako, lalong-lalo na. So, with that criteria, I believe it will help a lot of Filipinos na magkaroon ng magandang pamantayan in terms of getting into that investments.
Okay. So, sir, maraming salamat po for sharing your insights. Thank you so much po. So, this will be airing on September 22, 6:15 p.m. Ang title po ng segment is Scammer si Father sa TV5 po.